Hello and welcome back to a new Rage Gaming video. My name is Hallowed and today I'm going through the locations of every weapon and shell in Mortal Shell. If you somehow haven't heard of Mortal Shell, it's a new Souls-like that just dropped and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Definitely recommend it if you like Souls games. We've got other videos out on the game already on the channel if you want to check those out, but now let's begin this guide. Mortal Shell makes use of 4 main melee weapons and 1 ranged weapon, and then the 4 main shells all at launch. You can swap between any of these shells and weapons by visiting the weapon rack or the shell crypt at the Fulgrim Tower, which functions as the hub for the game. Alternatively though, you can actually swap between shells while out in the world by consuming one of the shell's effigies. It's literally as easy as that, but they're pretty limited items. You can also do this with weapons, using the weapon versions. These are unlimited use though, which is very nice, but kind of makes you wonder why the shells aren't too. To unlock the shells and weapons, you must first find them in the world, and also often defeat some kind of challenge before you can unlock them. We'll begin with the shell locations, which are hidden around the Fulgrim outskirts, the very first area of the game. I'm going to give you the exact path to follow so that you can't get lost, which requires you to start in the Fulgrim Tower, the hub. You'll find this at the very start of the game by heading straight forward after you enter Harros' shell. So, for the first shell, Solomon's shell, let's head outside from the Fulgrim Tower through the broken door behind the sister. Directly across from that is the Cave of Grisha. If this is your first time in Grisha's cave, you'll have to defeat the mini-boss Grisha himself, and then, after you've done that, go to the back wall. Down below is a sort of hidden passage that you must break into and crawl through behind these roots. At the end of the tunnel, you'll find Solomon the Scholar himself, which is a shell based on resolve building and spending. This shell has the most resolve total and a pretty balanced stamina and health set. Next, TIEL'S shell. Hidden in a secret cave in the outskirts, this is with another mini-boss named Ven. To find this cave, head from Fulgrim's Tower by leaving through the crawl tunnel in the lowest section. Leaving this tunnel, turn left and go downhill, and then do a U-turn around the pillar on your right. Shortly after this, we'll turn left towards the bat tree when you come to the inscription totem. We'll keep left as we run past the battery, heading downhill. And eventually you'll come to a small band of bandits playing a lute. If you look to their right in the water, we'll see a cave mouth, also covered by roots. Break the roots, head inside, defeat the mini-boss, and then claim TIEL'S shell. TL is based on high stamina, evasion, and poison. Poison deals damage over time, and there's various passives that will reward you for triggering this poison. Lastly, EREDRIM'S shell. Leave Fulgrim's Tower once again through the broken door behind the sister. And again, directly across from you is the Cave of Grisha. This time we'll take the right tunnel in Grisha's cave through to the Fulgrim outskirts. And then we're just going to run straight down this path, and eventually we'll come to the slab entrance of Narthex on your left. Head down towards Narthex, but before we enter, just chilling right there on your left is EREDRIM. EREDRIM is a high health tank shell with the highest health pool and smallest stamina, made for big heavy hitting and single target passives. Okay, awesome. So now you should have all 4 shells at this point. Let's move on to the weapon locations and how to unlock them. Weapons are easier to find because they're actually at the entrance of each temple. However, they always require you defeat a character named Hadern who is wielding said weapon and makes use of his attacks and abilities in a sort of mini boss fight. You activate these boss fights by interacting with the recites that triggers the encounter. I'm going to give you directions to follow along with me again, which once again will require you to start in the Fulgrim Tower. Starting with the Smouldering Mace, we're going to head to the temple grounds entrance via the bat tree. This time we'll leave the Fulgrim Tower through that crawl tunnel in the lowest section near the sister again. We'll head downhill on our left and then do that same U-turn around the pillar on your right. This time, however, we're actually going to head downhill past the inscription and the bat tree, which you'll see on your left. Simply follow the straight line through this valley until you eventually start coming uphill. We'll run uphill until we eventually come to the entrance of the temple by heading left through this passage and up the stairs until we enter the temple itself. Inside we have a new sister checkpoint and the Smouldering Mace hanging there itself. We'll defeat Hadern by using the recite and then claim the new mace. Awesome, now let's move on to the Hammer and Chisel. This time we'll head to Narthex Temple via the Grisha Cave. Leave Fulgrim Tower through the broken door behind the sister. Directly across from you is the Cave of Grisha, and we're going to go in there and head to the right to the Fulgrim outskirts. Follow the straight path all the way until you come to the slab entrance of Narthex on your left. Make your way down to Narthex and follow the straight route inside, and as soon as you're in there, on your left will be the new sister checkpoint and the Hammer and Chisel. Once again, we'll defeat Hadern by using the recite and then then claim the hammer and chisel. Alright, last melee weapon is the Martyr's Blade. We're going to head to this one to the abandoned chamber entrance via the battery. So once again, we're going to leave the Fulgrim Tower through the crawl tunnel in the lowest section near the sister, heading downhill on your left and doing that U-turn around the pillar on your right. This time we're going to turn left towards the battery when we come to that totem once more. We'll keep to our left even more so as we run past the battery and start heading downhill. Now we're going to run downhill the whole time in a straight line, following the stream as it takes you down and down and eventually right into the crypts. Inside here you'll find the new sister spawn, and further in, just round the corner, the Martyr's Blade. Finally, we're going to defeat Hadon one last time by using that recite and then claim the blade. Great, now that you've got all the shells and the weapons, they'll actually just appear in the Fulgrim Tower, the hub, and you can swap at the crypt rack or the weapon rack. Lastly though, we can also unlock the BALLISTAZOOKA, a ranged weapon, by spending 8,000 tar with the merchant at Fulgrim Tower. If you head outside and around to the bell and then up the staircase, you can find the merchant. And after you purchase the tools, you can go back to the workbench and unlock the Zooka. And you can actually see it just sitting there broken on the workbench at the tower the whole time. But once you use these tools to repair it, it'll chill on your back until you equip it. It is a very powerful weapon and a great way to deal damage or kill from ranged. A very useful tool in any boss fight, but it does take a moment to sit down and activate, and the ammo that it does make use of, the bolts, are found rarely in the world or bought from the merchant. So these shots are fairly limited, and that makes sense considering how strong they are. With that though, we should now have unlocked all the weapons and shells available at launch. If this video did help you, please hit like so more people might find this. I just want to let you know that each and every weapon does have 2 upgrades to unlock their resolve abilities, which are hidden in each temple where you find the weapon. I might make a guide on that if there's interest for that. For now though, I've been Hollow, you've been you. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck and enjoy the rest of Mortal Shell. I'll see you next time.